Welcome everybody to the Room250 podcast.
One tiny pixel at a time.
We all have a room 250. It's that room where creativity happens.
Welcome everybody.
Welcome back to shit. God damn, bro. Bienvenidos a Room250 podcast. Room250 is where creativity happens. We are here to sit down, have a conversation, inspire our design community to crush their creative goals one pixel at a time. My name is Martin, aka Edosoy. I'm here with my two best friends, David Patrick Sly and Arturo Pete Peralta. And with that, let's jump over to one of you guys.
Don't forget to take a breath. Don't forget, please follow us on all social media. We're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we're on YouTube. If you're subscribing on YouTube, don't forget that hit that bell notification that lets you know when we drop our new episodes. And please comment and like on all our videos, as well as on Instagram. It really helps us out, and TikTok, but I'm not on that as much.
The tiki-talkie, and excuse my deep, sexy baritone voice. I'm fighting a cold currently. My voice was a lot deeper last week, so I kind of wish I would have recorded. We would have recorded last week, but if this is your first time joining us, thank you very much for clicking on the thumbnail, for listening to us on Spotify. And if you're wondering, like, hey, who are these chubby old dudes talking about graphic design? And what is Room250? Room250 is that creativity zone. It's a not a physical place, but it's a mental place, I guess, where you go for. I never do this part, so this is where I fuck up.
Exactly, it's hard.
See, it's not easy, bro.
It's where creativity happens.
Bro.
Room250 is a feeling of a place where you go and you design and you illustrate, or you crank out ideas, or it's a creative cave, or it's a brainstorming session. It's where creativity happens. I'll give it that as my best explanation. Where creative hangouts start. There we go. There we go. When we talk anything and everything about design. Yeah, I'll just shut up now.
Cool. So today,
woo!
So today we're gonna do things. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I definitely need help doing that part, because I crushed the intro, no problem.
Yeah,
but everything else I always fuck up.
It's all good, bro. It's all good. So
let's lead it up to drinking.
Wait, motherfuckers! Let me do my shit. Today we're gonna do things a little different. I'm gonna get to interview these guys over here, and we have a pretty a little special episode. We're gonna talk about the evolution of a creative career, from junior designer to creative director or art director. But before we jump into that, what's everybody drinking tonight?
There we go. I'm gonna go first.
Right.
I'm gonna call back to an old episode that we had. I am drinking PBR.
Ooh, nice.
Godzilla edition.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I saw those.
So I found these at the and I was like, I'm gonna grab them. So
nice.
I'll crack it for you guys.
Shout out to Tags One.
Tags One, Robert. Appreciate it.
Which we'll have him back on the episode. He was such a rad guy to talk to.
Just, classic beer, man. You could have this I would say at any time. In the winter, at a barbecue, at a ball game, just anytime.
And it's not too heavy either. Like that's what I really like.
No, it's perfect. Yeah.
It's just
and
nice
it's not like
beer.
It doesn't, it's kind of a cheap beer, but it doesn't taste like a cheap beer. Like
Bud
it's
Light.
got a somewhat decent flavor profile for sure.
Or Michelob Ultra. Ugh.
Yeah.
That was gross.
And I also have this sick koozie that I got, which is called Frost Buddy, and it holds the tall can.
So are we all vertical right now, or are we all horizontal? Because it looks like we're vertical. So just make sure you center it, Sly, because it was like halfway off the frame.
Oh,
your koozie.
I'm in like squares. So
no,
I
saying
have
your
this
koozie. Yeah.
Yeah, so cool. I have this sick new koozie that it screws off and screws on.
Yeah,
and I can
I've seen those. Yeah,
tall can, bunch of different stuff. I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah, so now I just got to make I was gonna say I have to make a Room250 sticker, and I'll put it on here.
Nice. All right, so I'll go next. So last week I had my for those of you that don't know, I recently got hired at Resorts World for the creative director position. So super thrilled about that. Been extremely busy. But last week we had our first video shoot, and it was a big production for the property. And afterwards, I just felt super accomplished, beyond happy. and I went to it's called, I think, Top Shelf, and I looked at the whiskeys, and I'm like, okay, I need to restock my stuff anyways. So I was like, I've earned my nice whiskey for that day,
Oh,
so
yeah.
I wanted to treat myself a little bit. And unlike beer, where it's just kind of like, all right, I'll grab this beer at $7. Whiskey, we're spending 60, 70, 80, 200 bucks on
Mhm.
whiskey.
Yeah.
So I saw this one. I do like bourbon whiskey, and it's called Lucky 7. There's
Oh,
the
nice.
bottle. I like the
Ooh, that's
font
very
choice on that one. I like the little sticker
Mhm.
they always gave me on here, like the dates. It just feels like more
Mhm.
rare. The little 7 on there, the cap is pretty. That's pretty dope. So I like the bottle shape as well. So all right.
How's the
So
taste?
and then it
Yeah.
has that back pattern back here as well too. So
I
that's a
love
nice
that
little
pattern.
touch.
very
there.
nice.
That's dope.
Yeah, the Argyle.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's what it's called.
I'm
Argyle.
pretty sure that's what
So
it's called, Argyle.
so it's a foolproof. Let's see, bourbon, Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. And it was finished in Amburana casks, whatever the fuck that means. So, I mean, it tastes good. I don't really know how to explain it. Whiskey's whiskey. If you like whiskey, it tastes good. So, cheers.
Nice.
Cheers.
Cheers. So let's go back to one thing, and like I want to congratulate you, bro, because I know you've been working your ass off for like the last couple years to get where you're at, and you know what, bro, you fucking deserve it. So yeah.
Thank
Good
you,
shit,
thank
Seriously,
you,
you do.
thank you,
Yeah,
thank
yeah,
you. Am I zoomed
definitely.
in right now?
Yeah, you're
Oh,
very
good.
zoomed in.
Man,
Oh, open it up.
wants to see your face. The camera's like, we gotta put you on your face, bro. So
That's super
I
zoomed in.
think
Hold on. All right, go ahead.
I think that I've been wanting to showcase this fucking can for like ever because it's fucking dope. Okay.
All right, let's see it.
Yeah.
Zoom it in.
Let me not fuck up. So this is Stuntman. Discount
sick.
Stuntman. Even dude, the fucking name is fucking hilarious. Discount
pretty cool.
Stuntman by Mason L. Works. And if the
Mason,
designer
yeah.
of if Mason, the designer
your
who designed
face.
this, dude, the designer who designed this, if you could, jump on our podcast and talk to us, that'd be fucking dope. Because your design writer is sick, hilarious, and
Yeah.
funny. And I like gravitated to it right when I saw it, and I saw his post on Instagram, and I was like, yeah, dude, that's sick. So let me see.
That's pretty rad.
Oh
Ooh,
yeah.
good pop. Little swish. Give it
He's
the
like,
room
it tastes
250
like
swish.
shit. Does it taste like a stunt man?
Definitely
Dirty and
fucking punch me
gravelly.
in the face. Dude, this one is interesting. Like, it's very hoppy IPA, but not super
Okay.
loud. It's like super low. I had back in the days when I was in my 30s, I loved IPAs, and then I kind of like fell out of love with them because of the heartburn and shit. So we'll see how it treats me. But I don't mind this one because it's very light. It's subtle. It's there,
many-
but it's not super loud.
Is it a light IPA or is it just a regular IPA?
It's a hazy. It's a IPA
Oh, okay.
Imperial Double New England Hazy. So
Oh, it's a New England hazy. So the
Yeah.
hoppiness is different for sure. Nice. Good shit. I like the artwork on there. Definitely like very
Yeah, the
Superman.
the artwork is dope, dude.
Inspired.
Super cool.
Well, it's a great episode, gentlemen. Cheers.
So a great
Straight.
episode.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right,
All
so
right,
tonight
so
we're going to talk
hopping
about
into it.
Yeah, let's jump onto it. Something very important. This one is for all the designers out there that are starting their career or they're midway in their career, or if you're on top already, you made it. Congrats, Pete, Sly. And there's no single path for a junior designer to director, right? And that's why this is really important, because everybody could take different paths in their journey. We saw it with Dristy, where he like literally was that the only one we had that didn't go to school, and yeah, so far, right?
So far, yeah.
So far, yeah.
that I know.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, that I could recall, he's the first one.
Yeah, Dristy started out, doing packages, and somehow he ended up being a designer because he's really good at it. So every journey is different, and that's why it's so much fun to talk about this. And then we'll talk about the myths and the truths about all of this stuff. I'll start with one of the myths that, one of the myths when I went to AI was, oh shit, and even AI pushed this down our throats. Oh, don't worry about it. You're gonna make bank when you graduate. The average you make is $60,000 a year. So it makes your head big. As a student, you're like, oh shit, I got nothing to worry about. I'm gonna graduate. I'm gonna make bank. Hell yeah, that's what they told me, Pete. I know you're like,
Oh, okay.
but that's
Yeah, I
what
was like, no, they
that's
didn't,
what they
they didn't tell
told
me
me.
that. Okay.
Yeah, when I was in the sales office, they told me, they were like, la 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 la, what do you want to do? Do you like drawing? Do you like this? Do you think you could see your
Mhm.
designs on shirts, on shoes, right? Kind of like guiding you through it. And I was like, yeah, that'd be cool. And then she was like, then she told me how much it was, and I was like, oh, that's kind of pricey. And her response was like, oh, don't worry about it. You're gonna make like $50,000 a year when you graduate because that's how much they pay. And I was like, oh, yeah, that sounds pretty good. So there is some truth to that, and there isn't. Because do you guys want to talk any points on that you guys think is true about that?
I'll digress to Sly first.
Okay. I didn't get told that I was going to be making a lot of money, but I will say when I was in college, I thought I would be making a lot more money than I actually did when I first got out. When I first got my first design job, I was definitely under the impression, I was like, man, I'm going to be making 40, 50 when I first came out. And I think what I started at was 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
30K or 30 an hour?
30K, not 30 an hour.
30K.
Sorry, I was meaning salary.
Gotcha. So
Yeah.
for me, I don't remember them telling me I was going to make a lot of money. I truly don't remember that. My only two other experiences with income, because I went in at, let's see, how old was I? I think I was 22, 23 when I first started AI. I was maybe 22. And at that time frame, I was coming off of active duty. So I worked at Foot Locker for about a month and a half, making whatever money that was, right? So that was my only experience making money. And then I was on active duty pay, right? So that was by my rank. So that was the only time I could compare like civilian life to like design life of like getting paid, right? So when I got my first job, I was making, I think, $10 an hour or $12 an hour, $12 an hour.
Minimum
And
wage.
to me, I was just like, cool.
Yeah.
Like I was happy that I was not doing construction or something like hard labor and just kind of like paying my dues, you know. But I also started my career later that I was just like, okay, now I got a taste, so I gotta like keep adding on. But at the time, even with people that were like, we'll say for like example, Jordan Kabaka, he graduated and he became an art director right away. Like he literally within 30 days, he was an art director. So he was one of those diamond in the rough kind of guys that made 45, 50 right out the gate. You know, so
That's
I
the
was
truth about it, right
expecting, I was expecting maybe 40 to 42 that I might be making. And I can't remember what like the medium was, you know, we're talking 15 years ago. So I think if I would have made 40, I would have been just happy, like beyond happy. But I knew I had to pay my dues, but I was also like still living at home with my mom at the time because I just got out of active duty. So my bills weren't really like set. So, yeah, I knew eventually I would make money, but no, I knew I wouldn't be making fucking bank right off the start.
Yeah. And I want to say, you know, I wasn't unhappy with the amount of money that I was making when I was making 30. That was also like, man, I'm making 30 an hour because I was, or not 30 an hour, 30 a year. I was before that working at Subway making minimum wage, which was like $7.25 an hour. And so that jump up was definitely, you know, something that made me very happy. But, you know, like Martin was saying, like I was also like 19, 20 when I graduated. So I was like, I had these grand ambitions of like, I'm gonna be making so much money. I went to college and like, I'm just gonna be rolling in it. And it was definitely like, oh, okay, I'm making money, but I'm not making like baller kind of money.
Yeah.
See, and that's what I'm talking about. Like everybody's journey is different. Like we have Pete who came out of combat. And did you have any prior work experience anywhere?
No, just Foot Locker. That was it. Well, no.
So then, so you came out of combat. Go ahead. So you
Yeah,
came
yeah,
out of
I forgot
combat
about
and
that.
then you just got like
One
a
more,
regular
one more.
job. What are you doing? What? I missed it.
Yeah,
So
so
go ahead, Pete.
okay, sorry.
Before you go.
And yeah, so I fuck, what was it? Because shit, now I gotta go ahead, Martin. I gotta remember my timeline now.
You're good,
Because
bro.
we
Well, it sounds
graduated
like
in
Pete came out of
2012.
combat and he we graduated in
Excuse
2012.
me.
So Pete came out of combat. He had no work experience. He worked at a Foot Locker and then he got a design job and he's like, oh shit, I'm grateful. Cool.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
got to pay my dues. He was aware, like, I got to start at the bottom and I got to work my way up. So,
yeah. Okay, so now I recall. You're right. So when I graduated high school, I worked at Foot Locker for a month and a half, and then I went to basic training, and then I went to active duty, and then I was gone. So all my pay was just through active duty army, and then being deployed, I had all my money saved up, so I wasn't really like hurting. And again, like I said, I was living with my parents,
Mhm.
so that helped me financially. I knew I wasn't making a lot of money, but I also knew that just like the military, you start lower rank and you do your time and you bust your ass and you get promoted and you go up, you start making more money. So that was my mentality of like, within that first year, I knew that I was not going to stay in the same spot for a long time. So if a position opened up and I jumped from 13 when I went full time with the advertising agency. They bumped me up to $13 an hour. And I was like, fuck yeah, like this is amazing.
yeah.
And then I left that job for $1 additional somewhere else. That was a huge mistake. But because I was chasing the money. I'm like, I
Yeah.
started my career late. I started my career at 25, 26, or yeah, somewhere around there. And I was like, I need to make up for the time that I didn't, that I've lost in my mind. So yeah,
Do
I
you
just
still
kept
feel that
looking
way?
and
Do you still
what?
feel like? Do you still feel like? Oh man, that was like the right decision, like chasing the money to make up for lost time, or do you feel like you should have stayed and like put your dues in, like you were saying?
I would say that
Retrospect.
yes, it was the right decision for me because I didn't have a family or kids. So I was
Mhm.
willing to take those risks. I was willing
Okay.
to go out and chase the money because hey, the loans need to be paid. I need to get my own place. I
Fuck
need
yeah.
to get my own car. I need to do all these things. So I was chasing the money. I was chasing the money and the titles. That was my thing. In my head, I'm like, if I wouldn't have gone to the army and I wouldn't have gone deployed and everything, at this moment in time, I'd probably be a VP. But that's not how time goes. Mine's like, I have to go through all these things to get to where I'm at. So I wouldn't change that path because otherwise
Yeah.
I wouldn't be here right now.
Be you. Wow.
Yeah.
So we have that from Pete, and he said it exactly. He didn't have any big responsibilities. He didn't have a family. He didn't have anything. So for him, that's where the journey is different for all of us, right? He
Mhm.
went from like, oh shit, I'm making money. I live at home. I'm cool. I can make more money, but I know that I need to advance. So I'm going to chase the money, chase those titles, and that got you where you're at. So it worked for you, and you did a great plan. That was awesome. You're a creative director, bro, in a fucking casino in Las Vegas, one of the nicest, newest fucking casino. I don't know if you saw. Go out on his Instagram and check out, or go on Room250. I shared that shit. Oh, go on
Yeah.
his Instagram. We shared what he
Go
did
go
today.
go
That
room to
shit's
50. Go to room to
clean.
50.
Yeah. Go to
Yeah,
Room
go to
250.
Room250. His shit's fucking clean. It's fucking dope. So he did the
Thank
right
you.
choices. And now we have baby Sly. Sly was a little baby. He was 18
Yeah.
years old. He worked at fucking making sandwiches, which he loved, but he was making minimum wage. Has no responsibilities. He probably lives with his mama. Probably his only
No,
responsibility
you know
is
what?
probably his
I moved
girlfriend.
out as soon as I could. So I was
Oh,
paying for rent. I was paying for my insurance. I wasn't paying for my car because that was already paid off. It was my mom
mm.
gifted that to me for my like college like gift.
What were you driving? What were you driving in
I was
college? I can't
driving a
remember.
I don't even
Chevy
remember.
Cavalier. A Chevy Cavalier. It was my first car. A
W-
Chevy
Was
Cavalier.
it bronze? Was it bronze?
No, it was silver. It was the most basic car. I love that car. The bronze car you're thinking of
I think I remember
was the
which one you're
boat.
talking about.
So I also had a Ford
Juke.
Taurus.
No,
No, I had a
yeah.
Ford Taurus. That was a 2000 Ford Taurus. And
I
when I
remember
first
that.
got it, I was like, fuck, this is so ugly. And then I got in it. And at the time, my girlfriend's dad had like worked at a dealership and got me a really good deal when my car had got totaled. That was a different story. And I was like, man, I don't want this car. And then I got in it, and it was so spacious. It was like your Impala, Pete. You know,
Oh,
it's like
nice.
very
Yeah,
spacious.
yeah,
And it's
yeah,
really, I was like,
yeah.
oh yeah, this is nice. And
I
then
don't think
a
I ever
year
saw
down
your
the
Impala.
line, oh, his Impala was
You
really
probably
nice.
did. You probably
Yeah.
did. Yeah, I drove that in
I don't
school.
remember.
Uh,
Probably then.
But yeah, so I had that
Yeah.
Chevy Impala, or not the Chevy Impala. I had that
You
Ford
wish.
Taurus next. Yeah, no, I wish I had the Chevy Impala, but the Taurus was sick. I mean,
Yeah,
I didn't
I
really do
remember your
anything to
Taurus
it,
now.
but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, that had problems like a year later, and then I had to get a new car.
Yeah, but yeah, that was your path. Like you didn't really have any like, you were like, oh cool, I'm moving up slowly. I went from minimum wage
Yeah.
to a little bit more money, and it's cool. My story is different. Like I was working as a front desk agent. I was making like pretty decent money, maybe $35,000 a year. So for me, like my path was a downgrade. It was a full downgrade. I literally I started working at Drex Agency, which they were great. They were awesome. But I think it was like minimum wage and it was like part-time. So I was working 2 jobs, which was great because I was making like, whatever, 35,000 plus an extra amount of money. It was like throwaway money. I was like, yeah, I'm a bala, blah, 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 blah. And then I went over to Brand, and I think I was getting paid like minimum wage too. I don't really remember how much it was a Brand. It was, again, Brand was awesome. It was a lot of fun. That's where I met Dan. And then after that, I went to Trop. And at Trop, that's when I really downgraded, bro. I went from like, it was cool at the beginning for the first year because I was making 35 plus another. I was making as a designer $22,000 a year. Can you imagine that shit, bro? So like I was working both jobs for like a year, and then my creative director,
I
an
remember.
asshole. Nah, just kidding. He was like, "Yo, get your shit together. Focus on pretty much." I had to decide. I got to focus on my career, or
Yeah.
I can't juggle 2 jobs. So I really downgraded from making like $52,000 a year to $22,000 a year. And I was single at the time, and I remember my homie Sly was like, why aren't you fucking dating? Bitch, I ain't trying to take no girl to McDonald's. Are you tripping, bro? Come on. I ain't
Dude, I
got no
remember
money.
our conversations where I was like,
Yeah.
dude, why aren't you dating? And you're like, bro, I can't afford to even go out. I'm putting stuff in my car, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like I'm putting money into,
So-
because you had that beater car too.
The Maxima.
Oh, yeah,
His
the-
Maxima.
Yeah, the Maxima. And you were like,
Yeah,
dude, I was
yeah,
able
it
to
was
put money into
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's your
that.
it's
Maxima. It's your Maxima. I
And-
remember your
yeah.
mom telling you, Martin, that you needed to
Mm.
quit graphic design and go back to front desk. I remember your mom telling you that. And I remember how upset
So-
you were. You were like,
I was so
no,
pissed.
mom, this is gonna be my career. I'm telling you. I just need to earn my stripes.
Mm.
And I
Yeah.
told you, like,
Yeah.
stick to it. You're good.
Yeah.
You're gonna get it.
So that's
You
the
You have
thing.
to decide.
This is something very important for all you guys out there. If you feel like you can't do this shit, that you gotta believe in yourself, bro. Because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else is gonna believe in yourself. I was lucky enough to have these guys that believed in me, and they helped me out, and they taught me like how to do better, be a better designer. Because I'll be honest with you guys, like when I graduated, I wasn't fucking a diamond in the rough. I was just a regular mediocre designer, and I fucking pushed through that shit. Can you imagine your own family member saying like, yo, you got to go back to you were doing, you ain't making no money? But no, I stuck to it, and I was like, I know my worth. That's the thing I kept telling myself all the time. I know my worth. I know what I'm worth. I'm worth this much. And you know what? I got exactly what I said I was going to get. And that's why you got to keep doing it. And I know it sucks. I really downgraded myself to be in this career path. That's what I did. And we have friends that, yeah, I took that leap, and it sucked. It really hurt for like a little bit. It was really, really, really painful. But like Pete said, I wouldn't change anything because the outcome was, it was only maybe a year and a half of pain. But even at Trop, when I was working with you guys as a designer and my career, like so far, that was a lot of fucking fun. Had a lot of fun with you guys. We're fucking around at the Trop and doing all these events. And dude, we weren't your regular workers nowadays that don't want to do shit. Nah, we were like, oh, what's got to get done? We got to go move the shit from the front to the back. Let's do it. We got to put up fucking signage. We're going to fucking do it. We weren't like, oh, that's not my job. Nah, dude, we fucking pushed through it and we got there. So yeah, every path is different. And sometimes you have to struggle. Sometimes you don't. But it's not, I can't sit there and be like, oh, fuck these guys. They got it easy. No, they went through their own shit. They went through their own struggles. I know, Pete, these last couple of years, you went through your own struggles. And like, you know, I'm sure Sly, you went through your own struggles. I don't already know where, but yeah.
Hey,
But-
man,
So
don't downplay my
um,
struggles. I have struggles. I got
let's
pain on the
see.
inside.
I remember, like I said, the first place the agency was $13 an hour, and then I went to that small company for $14 an hour. I lasted a month and a half there, and then I got fired because I was doing side work, and they didn't like that. They said that I was stealing money from the company
You were
because I was doing
moonlighting.
side work. Yes, and then and then I left there, and where the fuck did I go after that? I think when I
the
got to
magic man?
Tropicana.
Magician.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. The with Mark
Mentalist.
Savard,
Yeah, my fault.
hypnotist. He's
Mhm.
back,
Yep.
by the way. But yeah, went to him, and then I was making, I think, $20 an hour, and I was super pumped. I was like, fuck yeah, $20 an hour.
Yeah.
But after like paying all my bills and my apartment and everything, I was like, fuck, man, I'm barely scraping by. Like, I need to.
Yeah.
I also had a bigger apartment than I should have, because I was excited, and I'm like,
It was
I
a
got
nice
a
apartment,
2-bedroom, and
Yeah.
I should have gotten a fucking 1-bedroom. I would have been okay. But it wasn't until I got
Should
to
have had a roommate.
Tropicana. Yeah, I probably should have. Yeah.
And
And when I got to Trop, when I interviewed at Trop, I remember I asked for $35,000 for the senior graphic designer position. They're like, well, what's the salary expectations? And I was like, 35, 40. And the chief marketing officer at the time, his name was Fred. He looked at me and he goes, I'll do you one better. I'll give you 45. And I was like,
Nice.
holy shit, like hell yeah. I
You were
was
like,
just
let's
pumped.
go.
Let's go get the
Club
guac. Get the guac. But yeah, I remember when I hit 45, I was like, I'm gonna chase this feeling of being financially secure. And I have ever since after that. I always wanted to make sure that I had at least an increase of $10,000 to $20,000 every job that I went. I went here and there, but it's at $45,000 a year. That's where I felt like, okay, I made the right choice in my career. It's only going to get better from here, and it has, So that would be the pivotal moment for me on finance on that
Nice.
part.
Good shit, bro. And you're like success. So fuck yeah, dude. Keep doing it. Keep going hard and keep doing your shit. Like, it's fucking dope. So yeah, let's get back to our topic. So here's the question for you guys. Like, what's the most important thing when you do get that junior designer job? Because that's pretty much where, well, I didn't start as a junior designer. I started as a graphic designer, but that's where everybody starts. Like,
thing.
most designers
Same
start,
thing.
right? It's kind of the same shit.
Well,
I
you can
say
start
it's
as
feel like
production
junior-
artist as well.
Yeah, you can start
You could-
production.
yeah.
Production,
'Cause I
I
have
think, is
production artists
lower
on my team.
than graphic designer, than entry level.
Mhm.
So what's the most important part of production and junior graphic design for you? Pete, what do you think is, if you're a junior graphic designer or a production artist, like, what should you be doing at that time? What is the most important thing you should be doing as in that role for you to move up, if you want to move up to the next step? There's nothing wrong if you want to be there for a while, but what do you think?
Stay hungry. Like, you have to stay hungry. Try to be involved, and are you happy? Like, I guess part of like the knowledge of it, right? So it's staying hungry, and what I mean by that is like, learn more shit, learn how things operate, learn how, what is an art director, what is a creative director, what do they do? Because from a junior's perspective, they just kind of sit there and they bark orders or they approve stuff, and it's like, okay, how do I get to that position? How many years is it going to take me to get to that position? And I only could speak from that, from the military, from being a private and seeing like a sergeant major or seeing a captain, and I'm like, I know it takes years and wisdom to get there. So how long will it take me to get to that position? But I would say, stay hungry and be involved, ask questions. How do I get to your position? How do I do
Exactly.
this? How do I do that? Especially being a graphic designer, like, you have the ability to fuck up and it be okay. You can fuck up 2 or 3 times
Yeah.
before you get fired. As an art director,
Or even just get
you fuck up.
talked to. Yeah.
That too, yeah. As an art director, you fuck up one time and that could possibly be your career on the line. So depending on how much
Well,
money
because
you
it's also
spend.
the scale of the projects, right? Because
That too,
that one
yeah.
fuck up is not just like, some little thing. It's like an entire campaign possibly, or,
Yep.
an entire campaign. That one fuck up is like an entire thing. A bunch of people's jobs are touching this one specific job, and
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
I
think we
just say like stay
covered.
hungry. Stay hungry.
mhm.
Stay hungry. Sai,
Yeah.
do you think you want to add anything on to
Yeah, I
Pete?
definitely do. Along with the stay hungry, I mean, you have to want, and it goes in line with it. Like want to touch different projects. So, if you're a production artist or a junior designer, like what's that next step above, and how can I work on that? And that's one thing that I took away when we were working at Tropicana is like Pete was, obviously above us, but he would then say, "Hey, we have this project. Let's all work on it. Whoever is gonna, whoever gets chosen gets to work on it." So that gives us the opportunity to, uh, you know, um, flex those muscles and be like, "Oh, I can work at this next tier up," or
Yeah.
maybe I need some more work in this area, or how can I do this better? But you have to be able to like want it, exactly, like staying hungry. What else? I would say,
Hold that thought, because you said
okay.
something really important, that if you're a creative director and if you're that type of director who wants their team to evolve and get better, do what Pete did. Because I
Mhm.
tell you from experience, like I was the lowest designer there when I started. Like when we started the competitions, like I have always fucking lost all the fucking time. But when I
In the
left
beginning.
Tropicana, I was in the beginning. But when I left Tropicana, I was beating them left and right. A couple times
I
I
don't know
beat
about
them, and I
left
was
and
like,
right, but you did
I
win.
was gonna
You did
say,
win some. You did win
it's
some.
like
I
but
wouldn't say
before I
left and
left,
right, but you
every
did.
like
But you did
maybe,
win.
yeah.
You did win. You
I
win.
won
No,
like
seriously, I
2
mean,
times before I left. But
You
that's the
won.
thing.
You won a good
But that's
handful of times. Yes.
yeah.
so the process of like failing. That's it. I
Mhm.
failed so many times before. Failure, and then I was on par. Where they were
But then
like,
you were
Pete was like,
learning.
yeah, one time when we did Food is Our Celebrity, Pete was like, they fucking love their concept, but they really love Sly's concept. So now I
Mhm.
created a good problem for the client, right? They loved everything we did, and they were like, fuck, I don't know what to pick. So they
Yep.
ended up picking the one that they went with, which I was a little butthurt, but it is what
Oh
it
yeah,
is. But
you were
that's not the
hella
point.
butthurt. Yeah, I
I
remember
was
that.
fucking- I was
Well,
like,
actually, I don't
bitch.
remember what did yours look like. I can't remember. Mine was fucking terrible. I remember that. I fucked my shit up. I was like,
So mine,
there's
my concept
there's
was
food
like,
on the ground. There's food on the ground.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Ground food.
I'm
So
like,
my
I think
Throw it
concept
on
it's
the
was
so different.
ground.
so like the idea was like food is a celebrity versus what everybody else on the strip is doing, which is making our chefs as celebrities, right?
Mhm.
So my idea was literally having a chef with his arms crossed but no face. So we're not showing the face of the celebrity. So the food is the main focus because the food was right under
That's
the
right.
chef.
That's
Remember
right.
that? And then Sly did
Mhm.
the poster. I don't know, Sly, you talk about it because I still remember
Yeah,
all
so
that.
mine was like displaying the food itself. Like instead of displaying celebrities, we were displaying the food and making them look, like I remember I was trying to do like a red carpet thing, but it wasn't working. And then we decided to do like hanging posters, and that was the concept that ended up
Does it?
working, where it was like these posters are like the thing, which is the food, the things hanging on the wall, and we ended up going with that concept. I don't think I have it anywhere accessible at this moment, but I know I have it on some hard drives.
I think I
Is
have
it
it
on,
somewhere in mine.
is it on your Behance? Let's
I
look.
don't
Let's look for it.
honestly, I don't know.
Let's look at David Patrick Sly's
All right. Well,
Behance.
while Pete is
Honestly,
looking, Sly,
yeah.
did you want to add anything else into that for the junior designer roles? What they need to be doing while they're juniors?
While they're juniors, yeah. A lot of things that we did at the Tropicana as well. And even when I started the RJ, we were. I don't want to say that you should overwork yourself, but there were times where we stayed back to work on projects, and we would stay back with Pete, or like I would stay back with my boss at the time, Angela, because hey, this project needs to get done. Pete and Angela, their salary. I'm also salary, but it's a little bit different. They're higher up. They're staying back to work on the project. Hey, can I stay back and help you? Like, what can I do to put some extra hours on
Yeah.
this? Show that I want to, be a part of this and possibly grow. You know, that's another thing that I would say. But don't overwork yourself for sure.
Yep.
Just
Cool.
like show the initiative. Like, hey, if you're gonna stay late working on this, can I stay and help? Like, is there anything you need to do? Anything I can help with?
Nice. Yeah, I agree with
Yeah,
that.
you
You're
don't
doing
you
good.
don't have it on your Behance,
Yeah, I don't think I have anything on my Behance. I need to update it.
and then your dribble's gone.
Sorry, people. My dribble? Maybe
Sorry,
it's on.
guys.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
No,
on
your
dribble.
your dribble's gone. You don't have a dribble.
Oh,
No,
Hipster
don't say
Sly.
that. What the?
It's
Don't
hipster
say that.
Sly. I swear to God. No, I'm
Oh.
looking at it. It says, "Whoops, that page is gone." 404. Bro, look, I'll show you.
I'm gonna log in. I'm gonna log in. You guys
Yeah,
do your
bro,
thing.
this
I'm
is
gonna
hard,
log
bro.
in. I know.
Look.
I was like, fuck, I have all that shit
So
on
to
there.
recap,
This right here. It
oh,
says
snaps.
dribble hipster Sly.
Dribber.
Unless you change your handle, it's like, so I go from here, right? Here's your dribble right here, and I click on it, and it's gone.
Maybe
Oh,
I did
snaps.
change the name.
So, yeah.
So to recap, junior designer, production artist, everything that Pete and Slice said, yeah. Master the fundamentals, because you get to, when you're a production artist or a junior designer, you're really not designing a lot. You're getting a lot of work from your creative director or the graphic designer. So you're doing a bunch of resizes, and you get so much knowledge from looking at other people's files.
Just call me
And if
Sly.
you're- Oh, you changed it.
I did change
Just
it.
call me Sly.
But I'm looking at it. I don't think I have it. I don't have it up here.
Anyways, yeah.
Anyways,
the other
sorry.
the also thing too, Martin, real quick on the production role is that, as you know, being a production artist, you get to see, you know, multiple different projects from different seniors, designers, art directors, and you get to now have that experience of like, hey, a key art's handed to you vertical, and you could make it in all kinds of different sizes. So when your time comes to be into a actual leadership role, you know how your artwork will look, you know, vertical, horizontal, web banners, fucking large format, all that stuff. So there is definitely pros, pros to starting your career as a production artist, or, you know, just regular graphic designer.
Yeah. And then the other one that Pete touched on is ask questions. Ask a lot of questions. If you have a creative director or a senior that doesn't want to answer that shit, then that's your sign to get the fuck out of there. Because you want to be in a team that's going to be able to like answer whatever question you have. A good leader will listen to you. And if he doesn't have time because he's busy, he'll say, you know what? Come back. I don't have time right now. Come back and ask me those questions later. If you want to go out, get a drink, and we'll go over that, that's cool. So that's very, very important. Ask questions. Don't assume that you know everything, and don't assume that they gave you all the knowledge, all the information that you needed. And then develop your design point of view. So start forming opinions about why design that you're working on works or doesn't work, right? Which is what I do is I put myself in the viewer's shoes. If I look at something, if I'm creating something, how's this going to affect the viewer, my target audience? What are they going to think about this? If I'm targeting, a certain group of people, are they going to perceive this as a positive or negative or neutral? You always want to create an emotion when you're creating graphic design. I think that when you create anything as creators, when you create an emotion, that's when you attach somebody to it, and that's when they're like, oh, I like this, or I connect with it. Another one that's really important, I don't think you guys mentioned this one: seek mentorships. Get a mentor. If you
true. Yeah.
If you have a creative director that is fucking dope, like these two guys were my mentors at the time at Tropicana. If you could like tell them straight up, I love your work. Can you like teach me what you do? I wouldn't mind, be my mentor. Most humans are gonna be like, oh shit. You want me to teach you what I know? Most of us want to share our knowledge. We want to, leave a little piece of us with somebody else. And the most important part that you didn't mention, Pete, I'm surprised you didn't, build your fucking portfolio as you go. As you're working, if they give you the chance, when you're in this position, they probably won't give you a design, but if you get a chance to create a design from scratch, where you get to do it and you get to create a portfolio piece, add it to your portfolio.
Oh, yeah.
Always have what Pete said. What's your save on the portfolio thing? Always have your portfolio ready or something like that.
If it's don't eat yellow snow.
Yeah, some shit like that.
No, no. I say always have an I love me folder, and you should always update your portfolio at least once a year, because you just never know.
You never know. So a common myth when you get into design that you might think is that you need to be perfect right away. You don't. If you're in a role of a junior designer or production artist, your creative director, the person above you, knows that you're not perfect and that in time you're going to get better and there is going to be some mistakes. So when
Damn,
you
you have a
do
loud
something,
slide.
yeah, your time's loud, bro.
Yeah. Like
Breaking news
Bruce
over here.
Almighty when he's like God.
You're being rude.
Sorry, I
Martin,
just had a
bro.
good
You're
idea. I
rude.
had to write it down.
Awesome. So yeah, you don't have to be perfect right away. Don't get butthurt when somebody gives you feedback and they say like this is wrong. No, learn from it. Okay, where did I mess up? How can I make this better? The reality of that is growth happens through interaction and feedback. So the feedback you get from a creative director, like the one time I brought Pete this fucking flower that was gonna be used for a fucking walk for cancer, and
walk.
he was like,
yeah.
did you do the research on this flower? And I was like, this motherfucker, like, really, bro? It's a fucking dope ass design. You're gonna be like, hey. And then I like go to my fucking desk and I'm like, oh shit, this flower signifies death. Maybe I shouldn't be using this bitch. So yeah. We're graphic designers. We're not artists. Try to I know it's hard, but try to remove your emotion from your work. Sometimes,
it's
Yeah,
hard.
at the
It's
end of
hard
the
in
day,
the
it is a
beginning.
product.
Yeah, it's I want to say that that's pretty universal across the board, where you get attached to the work that you're doing, and that's just normal. We are artists to an extent, but your job is a graphic designer. You make the client money, you communicate a message or an emotion, but you're not a fine artist. It's not a canvas that you're laying out. It's not something that's going to get done in 6 months or 3 years. It's something that needs to be done and out the door by noon kind of thing, right? So learn to get thick-skinned, don't take it personal. There are times where it is annoying and it's just like, okay, you're being nitpicky and you just kind of want it your way. So know that difference, and know the difference when a senior designer or an art director says, hey, move this to the right and try this, or did you try it in this color? Or for example, with Martin, when he showed me that design, because I remember it, I just asked him, did you look up the meaning of these flowers? Because again, it was cancer thing. And I remember you getting annoyed. And we came back literally 20 minutes later and it was a whole different flower. And I go, what did the flower mean? And he goes, it meant death. I'm like, see, good thing I asked. We have to think about the entire thing. It's the mentality too, the way that you think as a junior, to the way that you think as an art director, to the way that you think as a creative director also changes. I remember being a junior and just be like, fucking 9 to 5. I don't have to stay late. I'll just do my shit. I don't give 2 fucks. It looks cool. You don't know what you're talking about. You're old. And now being in this position, there's sometimes, I'm things come full circle and you're like, oh man, I remember having the same attitude that's now being given to me. And it's like, okay, come here, let's talk and let's fucking talk this shit out, So it comes with time and maturity.
Nice. Yeah, definitely agree with that.
I couldn't have said it better.
Now the wheels came off. You've been on your little training wheels as a little junior graphic designer, and now you evolved to a graphic designer or senior designer. This is where you take ownership for your shit. I think you could probably fuck up once or twice in this position, but not too much, because if you make mistake, that's what's expected. As a junior, you're kind of expected to kind of make mistakes, but once you level up to the next level, you can't make mistakes like that anymore. You gotta double check your work. You gotta you read your stuff before you send it to the person who proofs it.
I want to say there's different levels of the mistakes. the junior level mistakes, those are the things that you should not be making anymore.
Mhm.
But in the next level up, the designer, senior designer, the things that, you know, you're handling, maybe the stuff you're still learning, whereas like management sort of stuff as you're getting into it,
Mhm.
those are the things they might be a little bit more lenient on because, you know, you have the experience, but maybe there's new things that you don't have as much experience in that they might be a little bit more lenient on. And I came full circle on that whole sentence, but
Yeah.
leniency. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the way I see it.
So now you're a senior designer. What is your main focus as a senior designer, Sly, when you get to that
Okay.
position?
Well, when I was a senior designer, I want to say, you know, I was now leading a team. So now I'm like managing personalities, I'm managing artwork, I'm managing workflows. I'm
Mhm.
also doing design at the same time. I'm going to meetings. So those are the things I want to say, like, you know, I want to use the word again, a leniency. Um, as I was learning to like go to those meetings, like how do I present these things? How do I say these things? Oh, you didn't say this correctly, but my, you know, creative director or my senior was in that meeting to help me and say, hey, oh, actually we need to do it this way, or this way. And that goes back to the learning, just like you learn in your junior designer position. Um, what else? You know, managing when we were all working together at Tropicana, I wasn't really managing you, Martin, but I was managing the internship, you know, and
Mhm.
that was like preparing me for that next level up. So those are the things that I would say you know, you're doing in that position.
What was the question again?
See,
I know
so
I feel like I rambled so much I don't remember the question.
as a senior designer, when you get to the role of a senior designer, your training wheels are off. You
Mhm.
can't fuck up that much anymore. You went
Yeah.
from just getting things. We'll say it like this: you get barked at, do this, do that. Here's a strategy. Here's a creative. This is what you got to do. Just do this resize. They might give you a project where you do all the creative, and they give you creative direction, right, as a designer, and then you do it. So now you leveled up to senior graphic designer. What's your role there now? Like, what do you have to do?
Well, so I would say it's a two-part thing. So your skill set goes up more, right? So now you're seasoned, you know how to use type, how to use color, how to solve
Mhm.
problems a lot better.
Mhm.
But now you're also a manager, you know, to an extent. You could
Mhm.
be managing one person, you could be managing an intern, you could be managing four people. You know, it's now you're at that next level underneath the art director, so your mentality also changes. It's no longer just, hey, I'm here 9 to 5. It's now I am involved in meetings, in planning, in
Mhm.
campaign development, plus doing all my work on the side as well. You know,
Mhm.
so I'm a manager that also has responsibilities of a graphic designer. I just get paid $5,000 to $10,000 more. So it's
Mhm.
now starting to plant that seed of being a manager, like getting a taste of what is to come if you decide to keep moving in your career. So it is responsibility, maturity, and a slow growth of being a leader.
Yeah, agreed. Agree with all that.
Yeah.
So yeah, as a like one thing is once you're a senior graphic designer, you have to create you're leading projects now. There might be times where
Mhm.
you get down with your creative director and you guys come up with a strategy, but there might be times where your creative director's too busy to do any of that. So you have to take it upon yourself to come up with the creative strategy, talk to your junior, and tell them this is the direction we're going. Because at this point, your creative director has trust in you, right? Because that's where I see a senior graphic designer being to a creative director is your right hand.
Mhm.
Like, I can't do the strategy for this project, but I trust that you have the knowledge to do it on your own. And I could go do this other stuff to make money for the company while you execute this because you have the knowledge to do it. And that's your job. You have to come up with a strategy by yourself, maybe the copy, maybe do some edits. Just get something in front of your creative director so that when he comes back from his whatever busy thing he's doing. He looks at the job and he's like, "Cool, that's cool. Just tweak this. You get it. You send it to your junior designer, and then you get the campaign out, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
And now, yeah, and now if you're a good designer and you want to have a great team under you, now you're in the role of being a mentor. Now you can
Mhm.
mentor your junior, and now they will ask you like this and that, and it's your job to lead them. So, do you guys have any myths for that section? Because I don't know any myths for like
Myths,
senior graphic myths. Like people say
Myth.
like, oh, like a myth.
myths
Yeah.
for a senior graphic designer.
Yeah.
A myth for a senior graphic designer.
Hmm.
What I got on here
I've never
is
really heard any that I can think of.
they're saying that you need to know everything about design in advance as a senior graphic designer, which doesn't make
You should be
kind of
you should be more knowledgeable. You should be more
Yeah.
knowledgeable.
But I
Like
don't
a
think you
senior
need to know
designer,
everything.
yeah, a senior designer now
Yeah.
knows, like, doesn't need to be babysat, doesn't need to have their hand held. They're a self starter. They're self motivated. They've shown that, hey, I know my stuff. I might not want to be an art director yet, or I am on my way there. But you don't have to supervise them anymore. It's someone that is empowered. It's someone that you trust, that can take care of the daily grind stuff that you as the art director or creative director doesn't have to review, because that does take up your time. So it's like, hey, I don't have time to review the 56 projects that are on my queue, so I'm entrusting my senior designers who have that experience to know what looks right, what looks wrong, if the colors are right, if the brand standards are there for whatever client it is, that they could ship it off, and you trust that they know what they're doing.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a myth, and it's
I can't think of anything.
Okay.
the
We
only
can
thing
move
I can
on
think
to
of is like, maybe that you don't have to worry about doing manager stuff because you're just a senior designer. Like I think a senior designer should be going to meetings. Like that's what Pete was doing. That's what Angela was doing for me. Like I wasn't expected to go to those meetings, but they were like, "Hey, you should come to this meeting so you can learn." I mean, I guess that's maybe a myth that you don't have to go to like meetings, and I don't know. I like Pete said, I don't really think there are any myths.
Yeah.
do you guys think that if you're gonna be a senior graphic designer, you have to have a specific mindset?
Expand on that.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't know.
So something that you kind of did this already, Pete. Like you build your reputation, right? Your reputation. You in this last couple of years, I've seen you just up your Instagram, not your social media, on LinkedIn, and you're building a reputation for yourself. Like you're doing like the way I see you right now is high end design, right? Is that correct? Or what reputation
Yeah.
do you think you have as a designer, right? So you started doing that before you were creative director, and you were building your reputation, and then you were networking, right? You're hella networking. You have a bunch of clients. When you're freelancing, you're building this relationships with a bunch of people across the board, and that's where that's what I mean. Like, what kind of mindset do you need to have as a senior? You're not a graphic designer anymore. You're a senior graphic designer. You're thinking about strategy. You're thinking about what makes you irreplaceable. What's so fucking dope about you, Pete? What's so fucking dope about you, Sly, that you like, if I wasn't here, this shit wouldn't get done this way?
I would probably say, how do Sly, I'll let you go first while I think of my answer here.
Put me on the spot. I'm
Yeah.
thinking my answer too. You know,
That's a creative director move right there. You answer. What do you think? Nah, just kidding.
yeah. You tell
I'll
me
let you
what
guys
you
think.
think.
And I'll
No,
let you guys think, and I'll tell
senior
you what I think
designer-
about you. Oh, okay, go.
Okay, go ahead, Martin.
Sly, I think that one of your strengths as a professional is that you're very fucking professional. Like you turn it on like that. Like Sly goes from being like la, 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 to like boom, like super professional, and gets super like designer talk and knows what the fuck he's talking about. speed, you're just a fucking machine. You just crank shit out. You're always moving nonstop.
Just a fucking
Like
machine.
you have a vision and you're going for it and nothing's gonna fucking stop you. Like you're a rocket that has a fucking like nuclear reactor behind it and it's never gonna burn out. That's what I see as your strength.
I'll take that. I mean, I
Okay.
am currently holding 2 jobs right now. I am the
Yeah.
creative director for Resorts World, and I'm the art director for IS Luxury Magazine. And I just literally finished this
There you go.
magazine this week. So
Yeah.
yeah,
See, that's what I'm talking
I
about.
guess,
Nuclear
I
reactor
guess,
on his butt. Pete's got a nuclear reactor on his butt. Don't fart.
So I guess to come back on that, like ask your question one more time so I understand it completely.
I forgot, bro. I'm already a little buzzed.
This
I think it's
giveaway.
Basically, he said,
designer.
what is your mindset for a senior designer? And
Oh, okay.
for
So-
me,
Oh, no, what makes
Okay,
you
go ahead.
irreplaceable? Irreplaceable.
So I
Like,
don't
you're
think
unique
I
value.
don't think anybody's irreplaceable. I think everybody's replaceable unless you own the company. And even then from experience, unless you solely own the company, everybody's replaceable. So if you're gonna
Sure.
start your own company, run it by
Yeah.
yourself. Don't ever partner up with anybody else. And if you do, make sure that shit's different on ownership. But anyways,
Find our new guest on the next episode.
I'm just kidding.
No, not for this. I'm talking about like anyways.
No, I
But
know, I'm just
I would say that it depends on you as a person, you know. If you're young and you just got promoted, you know, your ego might go to your head of like, hey, I know all my shit. I don't need to listen to
True.
anybody. And some people get promoted to senior designer and that's where they want to stay, you know, like, hey, I make good enough money for myself. I'm not in the trenches fully. I'm not leadership and going to the meetings. I'm just kind of here. So it just really depends on like how far you want to go as a senior designer. Like right there is where it's a good choice. Or I would say once you get to a senior designer, that mentality of like, now I'm seasoned enough that I can choose what kind of real path do I want to go down. You know, do I want to go chase after the big game like Red Bull or Monster? Do I want to work in tech? Do I want to work in advertising agency? So anyone that's listening to this that's young in their career, as a senior designer, it's a good time to plant that seed of where you could really plant your feet and grow, you know, to become a creative director. It's going to take some time, 8 to 10 years to become to the top level, but it's possible, right? So if it's like, if I would have gone in as a junior designer into UFC, you best believe my ass would have been a fucking art director, creative director by this time frame, because I wouldn't have never moved. I would have just kept fucking grinding and keep moving
Yep.
and going up the ladder. But every place that I went, I was like, okay, I've learned what I need to learn here. It's not going to help me in the long run of where I want to be. Because at my mind, I was like, I want to be in sports, or I want to work for something with the Olympics, or I want to be like part of like a big head tech company. Like that was also my mentality. Like I want to do something fucking huge. I want to work on a global campaign or something that's seen by
That'd be
fucking
sick.
millions of eyeballs. Like that was always my mentality. So it just really depends on the person, to be honest.
I don't
Yeah.
think I agree with Pete. I was gonna say, you know, he has a very good point. Nobody is replaceable, but there are ways that I think you can make yourself very useful. You know, like for me, you know, learning the programs inside and out, and I'm not talking about Adobe programs. I'm talking about the systems that they use at the company. I learned them inside and out. I figured out how to maximize the amount of workflow that we can get out of them, and then took that and taught it to my team, and then from there taught it to the other team that uses it on the other side. Like, hey, here's how we can maximize our workflow. That way, you guys don't spend as much time, you know, inputting all of your changes and all this stuff. My designers don't spend a bunch of time fucking having to, you know, chase down all of your different changes, whether it's in the system or if it's in an email or if it's in this other system.
Nice.
How, you know, like learning that stuff as well as like learning about the company. That was one thing that, you know, we learned about at Trop is like, I don't just work for Tropicana. Like, what is the company, I guess, motto or like the way they manage their people? We learned about that at Trop, and like they said, hey, this is how we want everybody to kind of act. You can take that and move it into your position of like how can you make that for wherever company you're going to? Like, what is the overall leadership going to look like?
Yeah, I agree. So one of the common myths that, and you guys should answer this one, like, is that as the higher you go, the less you design. But reality is the best senior designers still design. They just do it strategically. Do you guys agree or disagree? What do you think?
I think, I'm hearing what you're saying. The higher up you get, the less you design. Yes and no, because one, you're going to a lot more meetings, but you should be able to still handle your shit and be like, okay, I'm going to
Handle your
design this
shit.
and like say, hey, this is what we're going to do. And we're going to run with this, pass it to your senior designer, and then have them subsequently pass it down to the graphic designers and the production artists and be able to make that campaign from start to finish in the idea that you had. So it's yes and no.
The higher you climb, the less shit you have to do. And by that, I mean like production shit, right? So the higher you climb, the more you kind of get to pick and choose what gets handed to you and what you want to work on, right? So you could be an art director that still thinks like a graphic designer and fucking do production work. You could be a creative director that acts like a creative director and says, hey, I get to pick and choose only the key art and only the starting of the campaign, and everything else shit rolls downhill. And honestly, I'm okay with that, because that's how you cut your teeth in this industry. Hey, I got to this position. When you, as a junior designer, get to my position, you'll have a shit designer telling you, giving you lip or whatever it might be, that they don't understand. Hey, they should be run this way, or maybe do this way. And it's like, no, like, I make the decisions, I run with it, you do the production work, right? But you also have to still do design. So right now, I'd probably say my stuff is like 40-60. 40% designing and 60% just handling shit of just delegating stuff. But I'm still designing. I'm still doing like some key art, and I'm doing some production of my own key art, because I'm like implementing Figma and systems for production value on that, to save the company time, to save the company value, to push out shit a lot faster, be more efficient than, having fucking 42 PSD files.
Damn, P, you sound so sexy right now.
That goes back. He's talking about systems. That's what I'm saying. It goes back to knowing your systems, like being able to implement that and like maximize the workflow and save the company money.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you're untouchable, but it does give you a lot more leeway.
You think differently, because you have to think like, as a leader, you own ownership in this company that's making you money, that's making your livelihood. Especially when you have a family that depends on you, you can't just, fucking
100%.
bullshit and just play around anymore. So that mentality also changes too. Everything, it just depends on your situation. But yes, the higher you climb, the less shit you do, but it also depends on where you're at. I've been at an agency where I was an art director, but they treated me like a senior designer. I was a glorified art director, where I was still doing everyday stuff, but anytime it was production, it would be handed off to the production crew. But I was still doing like, even though I would present the key art, the creative director would be like, well, change this and this. It's like, okay, well, I'm an art director, man. Like, this is good. It's fucking good. Like, you always had to piss on it and fucking be like, tweak this, and then it's good. And it's like, all right,
you
man,
see how that changed? That's me.
Yeah.
That's me right there. I made that work. I just want to touch back on what you were saying. You're saying that the higher you are, the less shit you take, or the less shit that you have to deal with. But also, it's the higher risk, because you make the decision. It goes down. It goes down throughout the designers. But if it comes back and ultimately it didn't work, whose head's on the chopping block for that? That's our head, right? Like, we're the ones taking all the blame for that. So, we're choosing our battles, but also like we're taking the most amount of risk, because we're saying this is what we're going to do.
Yep. Yeah. I think about it. Whenever a company like fails or something bad happens, it's never the junior that has to resign from their position. It's always from the higher up. You know,
Yeah.
CEO, chief marketing officer, art director, they have to resign because, hey, you fucked up. You're the leader of the company, not the junior that fucked up on the resize or fucked up on the print ad or anything like that. You know,
Yeah, you should
so
have
a
caught it.
bad leader,
should've caught it.
would be like, no, that person fucked up, fire them.
Yeah,
That is ownership,
Agreed.
really. I mean, that's something that we've been kind of like talking on throughout these different roles. Is like, you're also learning, you have to own up to all of your shit, whether it be a production artist, a senior designer, or a creative director. Like, own your shit. Even though there's
Yeah.
mistakes that you can have and you can make, you still have to own those. And that's,
yeah, you
you know,
should
something
always
that,
own your shit.
yeah,
Don't make
because
fucking
it makes
blame
you
others for your
trustworthy.
mistakes. Yeah.
Mhm.
Just like if you fuck up on something, just be like, yeah, I fucked up. Sorry.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a junior, like you're gonna have a lot of leeway. Like, okay, it happens, not a worry. We've all fucked up. You guys have seen it. If you keep watching our episodes, we always talk. Where'd you fuck up? And they're like, yeah, well, usually it's a misspelled word or something's not fucking proper. But yeah, Pete.
One thing too, as a junior, I would does that hand go away? Does it go away?
Let's
No.
see.
Oh yeah, okay. So I
Yeah,
have to
I'm
click
clicking.
on
There
it.
you go.
Okay, one thing as a junior, and this would probably be a short. If you're a junior designer and you don't know how to do something, say that you don't know how. Say it. Like, be like
Mhm.
straight up, hey, I don't know how to do this, or I don't know what you mean. It is a much better thing to deal with and like explain to you on the spot 2 or 3 times and you get it, then say that you know, and then it's expected of you, and then you take fucking all day to figure that shit out. That's just not the right mentality. Cause then I'm like, okay, you're fucking lying to me, telling me that it's, you know how to do this. And instead of doing 6 jobs today, you did 1 fucking job because you said you knew how to do it. And it took you 4 hours to figure 1 fucking thing out. So as a junior, if you don't know how to do something that's being asked of you, ask, hey, I don't know how to do this. How do you do this? Oh, you don't know how to do that? Here, let me show you. Boom, 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 boom. Out the door we go. And then you'll remember. I remember asking my first art director, I don't know how to do a stroke in Photoshop. And he's like, you don't know how to do that? I was like, I honestly, I have no idea how to do that. And he showed me. And that's always stuck with me ever since then, you know? And I'm like, oh, I know how to do a fucking stroke in Photoshop now. But at that time, I had no fucking clue. I'm like, I don't know how that works, you know? So again, if you don't know, just ask. And if your senior or art director like gives you shit about it, like that's just a bad leader, you know? So that's
yeah,
a red
That's
flag
what I was
right
gonna
there.
say.
You know, a red flag. Check
Red
out our last
flag.
episode, red flags.
Red flags.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
throw a
no,
little red flag
seriously,
up when I edit this.
Dude, if you're an art director and your junior is like, I don't know how to do this, and your answer is like, what the fuck? Like, why the fuck do we hire you? You're a piece of shit. You're a piece of
Yeah.
shit director.
Yeah.
You should be like, oh, okay, cool. You know what? It's okay. I've been there. I'm gonna hold your hand. I'm gonna show you how to do it one time, and then I'm gonna watch you do it so you know how to do it. And if you fuck up, okay, cool. Just do it again as many times as it takes, and then go on your way. That's a
Yeah.
good point, Pete. I love that. But so training wheels are off. You advanced to designer. You made it your way to senior. You got your directors back, and now you're the creative director. You're the CD.
Art director.
Art
I mean,
director.
you skipped art director.
Yeah.
Wait,
Just like me.
Sorry, I'm a little buzzing now. Yeah, art director. So when you're in that position, what is your main focus? One of you guys who wants to go first?
So I'll speak on this one because Sly was never an art director. Sly boosted himself up to senior designer to creative director.
There we go. Different paths.
Yeah, exactly. Different paths. I would say that the mentality of an art director, one, you're making more money, but also now you're a decision maker, right? You get to decide. Sometimes, depending on the company and the size of the company, the art director is the highest position, you know, so you are kind of in a way a creative director. You haven't earned that title yet, but you are in a way being trained to be a creative director. So you are now the head of that department. You are now leading campaigns. You are now leading key art. You are developing
Strategy.
it. You are leading 1 to 10 to 4 designers. yeah, you're leading the strategy, you're meeting with key leaders, you're meeting with CEOs, all that shit, right? So the responsibility starts settling in there, and now you're also delegating. But you, depending on the size of the team, if you have a team of 3, like, hey, you're also doing the heavy lifting. You know, you're doing the key art and divvying it up between your team, but also still, you know, rolling up your sleeves and doing the work. Um, but it's also making the decisions and making sure everything's right, going to print checks. Like, it's all the responsibilities that come with a creative director without that title. Again, you know, meeting with leadership, overseeing budget, managing your team, managing your own time, staying late, being early, or depending on the kind of art director that you are, showing up late, leaving early. Um, yeah, I mean, you're a grown up senior designer. Like, it's no longer being in the trenches, but it's you know, rolling up your sleeves and getting down with it. But it's also, now your knowledge should be pretty, like, big across the board. So where a
Yeah.
junior or senior comes to you with a question, you should know the answer. You know, you
Oh,
should know, hey,
100%.
how to get rid of, you know, the binding on a gradient on the background, how to do all these things. You should know even more outside of your job, outside of just doing design instead of InDesign. Now you're expected to also know, like, Premiere Pro or After Effects
Mhm.
or social media
Mhm.
campaign or video
Mhm.
editing, music choice, campaign planning, like all that shit. It's no longer just graphic design. Now it's, you have to think
Yeah.
of the entire strategy that makes to grow that campaign.
So now
That's
you're
the
a
responsibility.
strategist and a designer. And do you feel that when you're in that position, like you're more, like your mindset has to be more from the company, from the owners, versus when you were like a designer, a graphic designer, or a senior, you're kind of like, well, not senior, but graphic designer, you're kind of like, I'm just 9 to 5 and I'm out. I don't care about anything
Yeah,
else.
no,
I'm
that
making
mentality
money.
is gone. If you want to be a
Oh,
good
yeah.
art director, and I'm sure some people will agree, and I'm sure some people will call me stupid. I don't give two shits. This is my path. You know, it's showing the dedication as well. You know, the dedication of, like, hey, my job doesn't end at 5 just because 5 is here, depending on the day. You know, again, you have things that you have to take care of. You have deadlines to meet, and things start to fall heavy on you. If the project doesn't launch, it's on you. If a campaign fails, it's part of it is on you, because it also depends on, you know, the other key players who are in it. You are now collaborating with social media, with copywriters, with ownerships, with media buys, with PR. Like, it's no longer just, I come
Multiple
in,
departments.
yeah, I come in, I sit at my desk, I listen to my music, I put my headphones on, I don't talk to anybody all day, and I leave at 5, and I bitch. Now it's, I get there at fucking 8:45 or right o'clock at 9, and I have a meeting at 9:30, and then I have another meeting at 10:30, and then I have a quick touch base at 11, and then I have my one-on-ones to make sure that my team is fucking doing well, and then I get to work. And then I have to do my other work, and then I have another meeting, and then I have to go to a print check to make sure that the shit that got approved looks fucking right. Right. And then go back and do my fucking stuff while the designer fucking takes off at 5 o'clock. And then you say, okay, goodbye. And you're still there working.
Yeah, looks like our designer just left.
Yeah, exactly. See, there you go. Graphic designer gone. He's like, all right, well, hey, you
He's
know,
like,
we can hear
oh,
you, right?
but
We can hear you pissing, bro. Your earbuds are collecting the sound. We can hear you pissing.
wow, man, that sounds disgusting.
See, this right here is
I can
the
almost see
mentality of a
his,
graphic
like,
designer.
yeah, you could see the little light in the background with the door that's open.
Oh yeah, the bathroom's right across, right, from his house. Is it right across? Right? Yeah, yeah. No,
I
it's
think
it's
so.
an
Yeah,
angle. Yeah, I know it's an angle. That's fucking funny.
we'll have to cut him out at this moment, and like, I'll do some editing on the back end. No, I agree with you. I mean, all of that sounds exactly right. I mean, it's stuff that I do now as a creative director as well.
Yeah.
You know, I would say for me in my position, it's like a hybrid of like art director, creative director. kind of thing. Because all of that
Yeah.
is like, oh yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis. Whether it be every day is like that, some days aren't as like heavy with meetings. I would say, I do have heavy days and I have like slow days where I'm like doing design work more so and like checking in with the team.
Yeah,
I'll
exactly.
mute myself for that. My bad, guys. I didn't know
No, I
You
was just, we
definitely
were
did
just
not
fucking with
mute
you.
yourself.
Yeah.
We heard
No,
Oh
we
shit!
were
I
just-
should have muted myself here. Yeah.
we
Well,
were
I'll
just
mute
fucking with
myself. You can mute me later.
Yes.
Wait, you guys fucking with me, or you can really hear me pissing?
No, we could.
Yes, we
I was fucking with you. I was just fucking
You
with
motherfucker! Pinches culeros, güey, no mames, güey. Son of a bitch.
All right. So now you have the perspective of an art director.
Mhm.
There you go. So the last and final mission is creative director. We have two creative
Well,
directors here.
there's one more after
Slide.
that, but yeah.
Oh shit! What's the other
Yeah.
So
VP.
you go VP or executive or chief. The chief is the rarest
Chief
one. Like
marketing,
chief, no, not chief marketing, it's chief creative officer or chief.
Man, I don't think
creative
I don't think I've
something.
seen anybody like that.
They're
well, I guess
very
maybe
rare.
at like
Those titles are rare.
huge
Probably like
companies, yeah.
Google, kind
Yeah.
of thing. Microsoft.
Sly, are you gonna drink
but-
another beer?
Yeah.
Sorry,
I'll have
Pete,
I'll have
I'm
another
just
sip.
like,
I'll have another sip.
I'm
No,
up
you're good.
here,
You're good.
So I'm like,
Yeah. No, that's cool. I'll have another sip.
Alright, cool.
On mine.
So mine's really quick. Dos Equis, backup drink. I don't want to drink another IPA.
Mine's gonna be
get
exactly the
fucked up.
same. So I just
Yeah.
have a case
Mine's
of this. I
the
didn't really
exact
get a
same
chance to go.
whiskey. Same
Yeah.
exact
Same,
same
same.
whiskey. So
You ready for
So-
this?
nice.
That was not sexy. I was like, so
so
anyways, you were
yeah.
saying
Next is creative director, but there is one more after creative director, which none of us have that experience as of right now, which is typically either executive creative director, vice president creative director, or vice
wait,
president
can
of
you
creative.
expand? Can you expand on those one by one? Because I didn't even know those were part of it.
So now when you get to like executive creative director, vice president of creative or brand, or chief creative officer, now you are dealing with like you are reporting directly to the CEO. Like that's your
Mhm.
main boss, right? Or you are next hand in hand with the CEO. Like the chief creative officer, those are very rare. I haven't really come across those. I know those titles do exist, but those you're making decisions with the CEO.
If you're watching this and you have the title Chief Creative Officer, please drop us a like down below. Let us know. We would love to interview you and have you on the
Mhm.
podcast.
And so I can know how much money you make, because that's what I want to fucking do next. But anyways, yeah. So the chief creative officer, which again, it's like the high, you're making decisions with the CEO of the entire fucking organization. So I would say maybe someone like Google or Microsoft.
Apple,
have
Apple
those-
for sure has one.
Yeah, they have those titles where they don't design shit. They have creative directors underneath them or VPs underneath them that he or she delegates stuff to them of like, hey, this is what we're gonna do. But they just look at shit at the very end and approve it and say, yeah, like that's the vision that we're going for this company. So, and then next to that is like VP or executive. Again, you are reporting directly to the CEO. That's your only boss. That's the only person you answer to. And now you have creative directors, art directors, the entire organization reporting up to you, but you are probably designing nothing as a VP. You are overseeing shit. You're getting presented stuff. You're designing strategy. You're saying, hey, this is the kind of market that we're going to go after or where we're going to plant stuff. You're leading and verbally the voice and direction, but you are not designing jack shit. You know, I'd be surprised I could be wrong if by chance a VP or executive is listening to this. If you are designing
Let
still
us
in
know down
Photoshop,
below.
let us know.
Yeah.
We'd love to have your perspective, but yeah, you are a key player. You're wearing a suit, you're wearing some fucking high end shit. You're making a shit ton of fucking money, probably 200 grand or above, and you're probably never opening up Adobe unless you're doing a passion project for yourself or ideas for the
Mhm.
team, something like that, you know,
Mhm.
more of a corporate, more of a suit than anything else. And then you have what our current role is, creative director for me and Sly.
Mhm.
So I'll let Sly talk on that one because I've been talking a lot.
Got to rest
Good
that
input, good
voice.
input.
Yeah, while Martin was gone, I was touching base on that. I kind of have a art director, creative director kind of hybrid role, but a lot of it has to do with going to meetings, laying out different creative campaigns, managing the work between multiple departments. How can we best optimize the workflow between those departments, as well as like for me specifically, I work a lot with another creative department that we have at the Review Journal that specifically, does design work for the newspaper, as well as we have a spacing on it right now, a commercial print job shop. So I do a bunch of commercial print jobs. So I'm like managing that and printing stuff as well as like teaching my team how to print stuff.
I think you forgot one, because you're the creative director. You're the one that has to do the talking when somebody fucks up too.
Oh, for sure. For
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
So you
So
gotta
if
do
anything
the
gets messed
what is
up,
that
I'm the
called?
one who takes the blame and is like, they obviously, I'm going to talk to them and be like, hey, this was messed up. But ultimately, it's and Pete's, like we're the ones who've messed up because they're looking at us
Yeah.
like, you should have managed it better. That was on you. You should have caught it before it went out. Even
Yeah.
if like we
Mhm.
didn't see it or something, got approved without, it shouldn't be approved without our knowledge. But if it goes out, that's still, hey, that came from your department. You need to fucking own up to it.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, the complacency also comes into play with that. When designers have been at the same place for a long time, you get complacent. That's
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
the nature of the
Agreed.
beast. Especially if you don't move up the ranks or you don't have any additional responsibility, you kind of just go in there and do your job and put in your reps and then fucking take off. And it's just like whatever. And I think a good test as a creative director or art director is empowering your subordinates and seeing, do they respond to it or do they just act the same? Like, do they
Yeah.
mature on that? Do they seem hungry, or do they just kind of blow it off and it's like, yeah, whatever, no big deal? Like again, if you feel as a designer that you're at that level, you're just kind of complacent. Maybe it's time to pack up and go somewhere else. And that's
Mhm.
okay because you'll get that passion back. Some of us lose that
Yeah.
passion, and that's
Mhm.
okay.
You
It
do.
happens.
Yeah.
But if you feel that way, sharpen up that portfolio and find somewhere else that you could thrive. But yeah, as a creative director, I mean, you go to meetings left and right. I would say that this is the
All day.
busiest I've ever been without designing. For example,
Mhm.
last week, from 10 o'clock till 3:30, I was in meetings back to back. That I finally was able to sit at my desk at 3:30, and I'm like, I'm supposed to be creative now, and I can't fucking design this key art that I'm supposed to be working on.
That switch is hard to do
It's
after like back
fucking
to back to
hard.
back meetings.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah. Yeah, think
shit.
about it. Yeah, you
Mhm.
get
So
there,
you're burnt
you get
out from the meetings and you gotta
yeah.
design.
Yeah, you get there at 9:30 and, you sit down and you set up your desk and then it's like, "Hey, first meeting," and then that's an hour, and then you get out of that and you have 5 minutes to get to another meeting, and then it's about PR, and then it's about campaign, then it's about a photo shoot, then it's about a video shoot, then it's about a club, and it's about this, and then you finally get to sit down at your own desk at 3:30 and you're like, I'm burnt. You've made all these
Yeah.
you've made all these decisions, you made all this conversation, and it's like now you gotta try to delegate and you're like, okay, let me figure this shit out. And the great thing about being a creative director too, though, is that you have an office. So you can close your door and fucking just kind of lean back and take 5 minutes to yourself of like, okay, let me
Mhm.
reorganize myself. And that's something you don't have as a junior or senior. You don't get your own office. So those are some of the perks. I get my own office, so that's a perk for me. Like I love it that I have my own office. Um, but yeah, it's a shit ton of meetings. It's trusting your team. It's giving them the empowerment and responsibility for them to grow as well, for you to grow as a team, and then dealing with upper management. Like now you're dealing directly with VPs and CEOs instead of just an art director or a senior designer. You could be immature, but not really, man, because you're the
Yeah.
the
You're the
face
face
of
of
that
the.
department.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're the face of that department. So
Yeah.
it's time to, like, show up or go away, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And
Like-
budgets and all these people that report up to you and making sure everything pulls off the right
Yeah.
way and make sure
It's a
everything
lot
on
of
the notes are
managerial
right.
stuff.
A shit ton. And I mean, it's worth it. I think it's worth it. I love what I'm doing. But it's also fun to, like, pick and choose the artwork that you want to work on. Hey, I like Martin was saying, again, go to, well, by the time this video's out, you guys won't see it.
Possibly
but
we could save it.
well, I mean,
I'll
we
put
could
it on our
we could
reel.
reshare it.
Send it
We
over
could
to
reshare
you,
it.
or share it on there. Put it on our
We
timeline.
could we could reshare it. I worked on that campaign. Yeah, that was solely mine. For our Conrad summer promotion, and where the fuck was I going with this? I forgot.
The more
We're
you
talking
know.
about you get to pick and choose what you want.
Oh yeah. So I get to be like, that was one of the things that I got to pick and choose. Like, I see some shit, and it's also fun because it's like, okay, I see these production jobs and everything else, and it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna work on this. Like, pass it on to the junior, pass it on to the junior, pass it on to this person, pass it on to that person. But like, even right now, I've been here at Resorts World for a little bit over a month, and it's just like trying to figure out everything, what works the best, right? And what bad habits did my predecessor have that went onto the team that they still have a hold of, that I gotta kind of remold and reshape. And it's like, I told him from day one, hey, I believe that steel sharpens steel. So I'm gonna fucking challenge you on shit, because that's the way that I am. I'm not just here to fucking collect a paycheck. I'm not here just to let you fucking do whatever you want to do. That's not who I am. And I'm also here to empower my senior designers. I have 2 senior designers. So it's like, okay, hey, day-to-day stuff, I'm delegating to you. I don't need to see it. I don't need to review it. I don't need to know about it. You have the responsibility of it. You know what's right on this property. You know what's wrong. Oh,
I think a screenshot. I want to show our viewers.
Oh.
What this shit is. Sorry. Like, this to
Took a
me,
second.
like, I love high-end design, and to me, this right here is like high-end everywhere. Like, you're showcasing the property, you're showcasing, like, this is a great design because you're making an emotional connection, right? I want to go with my wife to Las Vegas, and there it is. I'm holding hands with my wife. We're gonna go have
Excuse me.
dinner. And we're staying at this resort. We're going to go to their pool. You're showcasing a little bit of everything. And the thing that I love about this is, like, you have Vegas back here. You have our mountains. I love our mountains. They're so fucking beautiful.
Our
Red
cotton
Rock,
candy
you have the red.
skies. Yeah.
Yep. You have the red going up over here, which is iconic for Vegas. If you guys ever come to Vegas, like, I used to work in the stratosphere, and that red fucking fire in the sky from the mountains, from the light bouncing off the mountains, is fucking beautiful. It's so iconic, and you're showing everything. As a viewer, if I'm going to Vegas and I see this ad, I'm like, it's got everything I want. Food, because I'm a fat ass. I got pool. I get to relax. I got outdoorsy shit because there's outdoorsy shit. So yeah, you, like, this is fucking dope, dude. This is like something that, like,
Thank you,
I love
man. So the crazy part is that our CEO does not like any of the exterior shots that we had. So when I developed this design, the marketing director was like, hey, the CEO doesn't like the building shots. And I go, he doesn't like the building shots the way they're being used. I'll tell you how I guarantee you he's gonna like the way that I do it. And bam, he loved it. He fucking loved it. So I was just like,
My
see,
boy.
I told you.
So
I was
that's
like, I
what-
fucking
There
told
we
you.
go.
that's what cuts you from a designer, a senior, to a fucking creative director. The vision. Oh, he doesn't like the shots because you motherfuckers aren't doing it right. Because they haven't done it right. Why you haven't showed him something that he fucking loves, and you fucking did it right there. Like if the owner, whoever was like, oh, I fucking love this, and he fucking hated everything else before, that's telling you something right there. Like that's
Bro,
the
it got
creative
approved
director
right. It got
mindset.
approved right away. It got approved right
There
away.
you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, CEO
Fuck
signed
yeah,
off on
dude,
it
that's dope.
immediately. He didn't say like, oh, let's change some shit. He goes, that's the one. Let's run with it. Yeah.
I fucking love that shit, bro. That's fucking dope. Yeah.
Yeah.
You should have been to that like best way. I told you, motherfucker.
I did
They didn't use
honestly.
it the right way.
Yeah, I went to the marketing director and I go, see, I told you. He didn't like it, but it's because you guys haven't been using it the right way. And bam, fucking rock and
And do
roll.
you think that? Well, I don't want to talk about it specific there, but like that mindset that you're talking about right there, where it's like, oh, and they fucking hate that shit because it's like when clients or like when a client shuts something down and they're like, no, I don't fucking like that. Don't fucking use it. I don't want to see it. It's like, it's so frustrating because it's like, you don't want to see it because they've always used it wrong or didn't do it the right way. And then you come along and you show it to them. And then they're like, whoa, this is amazing. That's fucking dope. I don't know where I was going with that, but I'm
Fresh
I'm real big right now.
perspective. Fresh perspective. Yeah.
Fresh
always
Yeah,
helps.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That definitely helped big time. But thank you, Martin. I really appreciate the compliment.
It's a great design.
I'm very happy how that came out. And everybody on property that has seen it, like all the leadership, they're raving about it. So yeah, that's my
Kudos,
first
kudos.
home
My
run. My
boy!
first home run
My
out of the
boy!
park. So
Nice.
extremely happy
And another
about
thing,
that shit.
I'll like, another thing our viewers like, fuck it, dude. Like, don't listen to what other people fucking say about shit. Like, you know, if you're going to a job and like people are like, oh, that place sucks, or like they're like this and that, like, nah, bro, experience
Excuse
it
me.
for yourself. Get in there, cause like I've heard rumors of like, they're like, oh, that place has a like fucking quick turnaround. That like it's not gonna like, they just fucking hire people. Like, nah, bro, you are you. You do your shit. You bring what you have to the table and shit. And if you don't make it there, you don't make it there. But never make assumption based on other people's experiences or other people's what they say about whatever place. I don't know why I've said that, but whatever. Yeah, good shit, bro.
No, for sure. Thank you. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so
Anthony.
yeah, that's the end of our journey, guys. My biggest takeaway from this is hold on, I lost it. Like,
He sounded so sad. Like,
Yeah, I know. He's like,
my-
okay.
well,
I had a lot of
what
fun with you guys talking
what
about
did
this,
I
but
want to talk about?
So let's give a little recap.
Okay, a
Oh,
recap.
for you.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
give a
I'm just saying,
recap.
like, give a little
You
recap
do
of
the
like, okay.
recap. What did you take away from this, Martin?
So the evolution from a junior to director isn't about perfection. So don't be scared to fuck up at the start. Remember that on your journey, every time you level up, you have to fuck up less, right? It isn't about perfection. It's about your intentional growth. You have to have vision. Ever since I met Pete, his mindset was like, I'm going to make it to the top. I'm going to get up there. And he got there. So you have to have a strategy to get from junior to creative director, visibility, and stay true to your design principles. That's something that I got to give you a compliment on, Pete. It's like your design has always evolved. And you're like, I want to make dope ass design and I want to keep doing it, and you work hard at it, and your design has just evolved over the years. And it's fucking dope, and it's clean, and it's awesome. So you've created your impact in our community through your design. I feel like you could give more back to our community, to our Vegas community. I'm very passionate about giving back to our community, and I feel like that's the best way for us as human beings here in our community to get together and understand each other and create something dope. So I feel like
right here. Right here. This is what we're doing. This is for our community. This is it.
Room two.
This is the way I give back.
Right. There you go. So the question isn't, can I get there? The question is, what kind of leader do I want to be when I get there? And I'll tell you, whoever's working under Pete, I'll tell you this. Pete is a fucking asshole.
Thank you.
But if you suck it up, he's a lovable asshole. But if you suck it up, he's going to make you grow so fucking fast and you're going to be better every time. And you'll see it. It's that kind of thing where somebody gives you like harsh love because they love you and they want you to be better. So just stick with it and keep going. But also as a designer, like if you don't have anybody to push you and you have nobody that believes in you, believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Keep pushing, keep going through it, and you'll get there. It sucks sometimes. Sometimes it's gonna be a little uncomfortable. I've been there, bro. Like I've been working on like new programs and I'm like, fuck, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But I stick to it, and now I open up that program and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember how to do this shit. So stick to it. Being uncomfortable helps you kind of grow, right? You gotta think about like of a lobster and shit. They shed their shells, it gets uncomfortable, they get rid of it, and then they get a better shell. And that's what we're all doing all the time. So
Is that what lobsters do?
that's it.
That's funny because I was thinking
Crabs, lobsters, shit.
no, I was thinking of diamonds are formed under pressure, and you're like,
Oh, yeah, that one too.
you're a
He's
lobster.
thinking about food. He's like, lobsters, bro.
You're a
I'm
lobster.
fucking badass, bro. I just
You're
saw
a
your
lobster.
fucking ad and like food and lobster and
You're a
shit.
lobster.
No, but
You
that's
taste
the-
delicious with
no.
butter.
Bro, you know, that's the one thing I used to tell like all the time with like at other situations that I worked at where it was like my creative director would come at me like, "Brr." Okay. And then my head was like, bitch, I was building their fucking pressure, like fucking lava and shit. You ain't got shit on me. I've been through that shit already. You can't face me. You can't fucking face this. But anyways,
For those that have
Um,
made it to this point in the video, we're starting to close it down. Please drop us a comment down below. Use 2 emojis. Use a heart emoji and a folder emoji to let us know that you made it to this part. This is the I Love Me folder. We want to see that in the comments down below. Please don't forget to
Ooh,
follow us on Instagram. Don't forget to follow us on TikTok. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Hit that bell notification, like our videos, comments. It all really helps us on our algorithms. We really appreciate you, and thank you for watching.
thank you so much.
Keep asking questions. Keep asking questions.
Keep asking questions.
Good shit.
Stop.